Bravo 6.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to some Rainbow Six Siege. It is me, Zeus, bringing you guys a strat I like to call the Deep Blue Sea strat. It's just an aqua plant. I come up with these cheesy nicknames just to kind of make them easy to remember, but anyway. The first operator you're going to be picking is going to be NOMAD. You can follow this path that I take here. Makes you survive a whole hell of a lot better than running under the default cam. And I just find it to be safer. It takes a little bit longer, but worth it. Now, your job is going to be putting an air jab on security single door downstairs. Now keep an eye out for that hatch. You're going to drone in another operator later on. Make sure that you drone out just until blue bar. Check specifically this corner because people like to sit under that wine rack. Then park your drone right here in these vases. This will allow you to hear a hatch drop and also lets you see deep security. After that, you're going to climb up here. And don't fat finger your get on drones button. But yeah, you're going to open up this door, and if you hear anybody to your left, or if you have somebody drone it, you can have flashbangs to clear them. You can use an air jab on your flank here, and you want to set it down next to those boxes to keep it from being shot from across. But it also makes it incredibly difficult to shoot from luggage without being shot yourself from the window. Keep in mind this is a two-way angle though, so they can see you and you can see them. The diffuser will be going down right here. After the plant has officially gone down, you're going to want to take an air jab and set it between the rotate and the head holes. You can flashbang off pink bar if you want, but basically you are going to be responsible for your flank. GRIDLOCK is the next operator, and she's going to have an identical job to Nomad's. The only difference is you will just throw a GRIDLOCK track stingers right next to blue door. That will save you the drone you'd have in those vases. You don't want to put it next to security door because the whole point of it being there is to block off anything from that hatch there. Now, there's going to be a rotate and probably some head holes as a default site setup. So you'll leave your drone right there to kind of give you an idea as to what's going on in pink bar. You throw your GRIDLOCK right here in the middle of the door to kind of evenly distribute the track stingers. This will keep people from being able to just squeak by them and barely take any damage. You want to smoke off the rotate, smoke off the double door, and then throw the track stingers that I'm showing you now, one at either end of the pool table. Or I guess I should say both ends. Next is going to be Buck. And you're going to want to bring flashbangs because you are going to be clearing offices and blue bar. If that hatch is open, don't sweat it too much. Most of the time you can just run right past and get into blue bar, no biggie. Now if you need to use flashbangs to help you clear down here, you can, but just hold that angle. Make sure you're close against the wall to avoid being wall banged from courtyard or from anybody dropping hookah hatch if they have it open. This will catch anybody on a rotate to throw a nitro cell, but the diffuser will be going down right in that area. I actually miss it a little bit with my first shot, but it's okay because you have plenty of ammo to work with. Now, when you're playing down here, you'll want to play very passively because you are kind of the nuclear deterrent. In the event your whole team gets wiped out, you are probably going to be most of what is keeping them from defusing. Something you can actually do to help your team out is these bonus holes I'm showing here. I have a couple of bonus tricks I just kind of show throughout this. You don't have to put them there, but they're very helpful. Your alternative in the event Buck is banned for some reason will be Ash. You're going to take the exact same route, being careful of that hatch, but you're going to be able to set your own claymores and kind of save Nomad and or GRIDLOCK some time and a track stinger. Now, placing it where just the one laser squeaks by makes them a lot more difficult to shoot. Now you can set your other claymore to make it even more difficult on any enemies trying to flank. And at worst case, you just set the one and it makes noise when they shoot it. So Same spot as Buck, just hold the kitchen doorway and catch anybody rotating to nitro. Now when you shoot this, you can either shoot the wall or you can shoot the ceiling. I like to shoot the ceiling and try to put about one like ash crosshair, like for the launcher, between the wall and like the crack of the wall where it meets the ceiling. You just basically use those to hold the rotates and the diffuser and you are good to go. The next operator is going to be spawning poolside. It's going to be Osa, and make sure you're bringing claymores. You're going to take one claymore, set it on hookah door. You're going to set an Osa shield on sunrise window, a claymore on blue bar window, and finally you're going to set an Osa shield on luggage window. Now that's just to keep you from getting shot, but I'll show you a little trick here in a second so you can circumvent that actually. The hardest part is just being able to get into luggage and past the enemy team. You can actually vault up on here and just barely see over it. I don't see this ever becoming super useful, but it's there for you to know. Now, as Osa, you're going to be covering the plant while it's going down. You are not the planter, but your specific job is going to be the rotate hole. We're going to have somebody else watching double door and into pink bar, but yeah, specifically you are going to be holding the rotate. Your alternative is going to be 0. You're going to also take claymores. You're going to set them in the same 2 spots, but you're going to preset some Argus cameras here in sunrise. You're going to go over, you're going to pre-place another one at top main stairs. You're going to kind of thread this needle. It can be anywhere in that general area. You'll open the door here. While the plant is going down, you're going to just kind of hang back and watch the rotate, just like Osa was supposed to do. If anybody peeks head holes or anything like that, or flanks, just react. And your final 2 0 cams are going to go right up top up here. Make sure not to penetrate that wall because they can shoot it from either side. And your other one is going to go here. Now this is just a perspective of what all 4 cams will show. It will show you if somebody's going to that window in sunrise to peek. Gives you a little bit of a heads up if somebody's flanking you from luggage. Your whole 90 hallway, and finally if they're going to be pushing the rotate or the double door for anybody who is sitting and playing the post plant. The next operator is going to be Blackbeard, also bringing claymores. He's going to be setting them where Osa's and Zero's claymores are. Just for the sake of time, I'm skipping over it, but it's in the event that they got spawn peaked or something seriously wrong happened. Now, as Blackbeard, you're going to rappel up to big window, and your whole job is going to just be watching pink bar and the double door. Now, the reason I mention these is because you have those vertical holes that Buck or Ash can make, as well as an an Osa upstairs. So your rotate hole will definitely be covered. In the post plant, try to play a little more passively. Try not to go up and down so much because that actually makes a louder noise, I believe, as opposed to just scooting left and right. But play it passively. The next op is going to be GLAZ, and you won't have those claymores, but you'll have the ability to conceal yourself in smoke while still seeing through it. Now, I messed up the first smoke that I threw, actually. You're going to want to try and land it just on the sill of the window so that you're able to get the whole window covered. You're trying to just hide yourself as opposed to an angle. This one was a little bit better, but you don't want to smoke off the rotate so much so that Osa or somebody wouldn't see a flank. You can also use it as cover if anybody decides to run out on hookah balcony, which was the point of those claymores from the previous 2. In the post plant, you're going to want to use your bearing 9 more than anything, because people might have your whole team killed and they have the potential to swing your window. You'll probably want something a little bit more bullets than your sniper rifle. The next op's going to be DOKKAEBI bringing smokes, and you will be the diffuser bearer. Now, you're going to get to Aqua Balcony, and just like every other time, you're going to push in here. You'll park right here when your team is ready. Make the call. You're going to push forward. You can smoke off the rotate, but make sure to smoke it deep. There is no rotate, so obviously I can't throw the smoke that deep. You can throw that same smoke where Gridlock throws her. You put the diffuser down, back up, call the phones, and then just hang out inside Aqua Bar and listen for anybody hitting diffuser. Your alternative is obviously going to be Lion. Now, you don't have to take the DMR. I just brought it this time as a showcase on my newest Black Ice. But anyway, you have flashbangs this time. Make sure that goes through the rotate. You can flash back behind Pink Bar and leave whoever's rappelling out on the window unblinded. But that will basically just buy you some time to get the diffuser down. After you've done that, go ahead and make your way out, and you are good to go. But of course, it's no strategy of mine without a counter. Now, best counter I have found, one of the best counters I found is Echo. You can throw this drone, and it's quite finicky. You'll see me fail this quite a few times. But you're able to jump up on just this tiny little ledge. And it's not so hard to do as it is just tedious. I'm sure given some time and a proper lineup, you could do it much easier than I was able to. I also messed up my holes a little bit. That obviously just comes with the area of it. But this is a really good yokai spot because it's very well hidden. It will kick you off the diffuser, even though it's not much of you showing, and even crouched when it's just your foot. It will kick them off the diffuse, and obviously you couldn't plant that close to the bomb anyway. But if you look at just how hard that yokai is to spot, I think that's probably the best yokai I have ever personally found. The next one I just put behind the bomb, and I try to line the edge of the pool table up with the edge of the window. This kind of keeps the person on the window from seeing it, and you can just pop up and kick people off defuse. The next operator, and arguably the best counter, is GOYO. You can set up just in front of this middle pocket and anywhere from the second to third pocket, I think it would work, or little dot there works. Don't go back past that middle pocket because I don't think it reaches. You can put one there, or you can just straight up set one on the ground, or you can even do both. The best thing about GOYO is actually just having those there is guaranteed denial. Nobody has to, well, one person would have to be alive to shoot them, but otherwise they will deny plant whether the enemy team shoots them to set them off on their own accord, or you shoot them. And you can reach these from pretty far back. You see this spot that I'm going to get into. I'm safe from hookah window. I'm safe from the very roof and big window. I could pop both of those from that spot. Now the last operator for the counter that requires a little finesse is smoke. You see I clearly lack finesse, but you can throw one from the same spot, land right next to the diffuser, and well, that will keep them off for a good amount of time. Another thing you can do is make some above head holes. Line yourself straight up with this bench right here. Look at your hole, and then line the top of your shotgun reticle up with the crack of that beam on the top. And when you throw it, this will actually go really deep. And it's going to land right in the doorway, the double door of Aqua here. So if you pop it, the person planting either has to run into Aqua Bar and take a shit ton of damage, or they just run into your guys' loving arms and die. But that is going to do it for this strategy. Let me know in the comments if you guys get a lot of dubs out of this, or if it was a good one. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and you take it easy. Peace out.